Hi guys, welcome back to Hair Dry Treatment. Ladies in red are back. Friday night feeling is back. Natalie in the bottom right, bless her, looking a bit grumpy. We've just seen the ladies team obviously perform. We're going to discuss their result very shortly. But firstly, I want to welcome all of the guests. I'll start with you, Nick. Nick, thank you again for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm actually really happy today. A lot can happen in 2 weeks, so it's good to be back with my girls. Friday and another weekend closer to playing out, so it's all good. Positive vibes.
Yes, positive vibes always. Nat, we're saying positive vibes. We've got to say positive, haven't we? Ladies team have just played, obviously 2-0 loss. Other than that, how are you doing?
No, I'm doing good. I like what Nicole says, a week more, and then we're out and about and
normal. And going Primark.
Yeah, we're going Primark. We're going everywhere, mate.
Some socks.
Haircuts, Primarks, beer gardens, we're doing it all.
Yes, mate. Honestly, I cannot wait to be free again. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can't even remember the last time I think I actually went out and had a drink or anything like that. Like, I literally cannot remember. And obviously, we've got the lovely Meg. Meg, how are you doing?
Hi. Firstly, I apologise, everyone, because we're running slightly late, but apparently my laptop decided that it didn't want to play tonight. So yeah, other than that, and a little bit of stress from that, I'm okay, feeling a little bit. I know Matt's in the chat already, and I've already seen him saying terrible results from the ladies tonight. Really disappointing, and I know we're going to talk about it. From such a high last night with the Europa League. Yeah, it was another huge game for United. As a whole, Manchester United, it was a really huge game for that, and yeah, it's not gone our way tonight.
Yeah, it was frustrating, wasn't it? Yeah, Matt just said great result for the lads last night. It was, and then terrible from the ladies tonight. I mean, Nat, we'll get straight onto the ladies. Obviously, it's just happened. Yeah. It's still raw. What's your thoughts on that? For me, watching it, I'm just thinking, where's our goal coming from? Because we just struggle to score goals. We don't look like we're going to score it, in my opinion.
Without Tobin, and I said it to Nicole before, she's our Bruno. She is the reason. She makes us tick. She drags us through. Even Leah, to an extent. Last year when she came back, she drags us through. She's got that determination. She runs down the wing. She's creating chances. And then, LJ first half looked good, but then LJ, she missed
chances. Yeah.
And that's what it is, not being clinical. We've been saying it for so long, Casey Stoney, fine margins. If you don't take your chances, you won't win the games and this and that. And we were dominant, really, in the first half. If you look at the passing rate, and we had 6 chances, they had 2, but they went in 1-0. And then second half just came out of a header, and then they went down to 10 players and just sat back and defended. It was easy for them. And we were just passing around, boring, sloppy. Didn't look like we had any idea what was going on. No creativity. She brought Jackie off, which I thought Jackie was one of the better players. So he's going to have to clear out a lot, I think. And I don't think with the ladies it's like Deadwood, but I think it's like we're stepping up those levels. So if we want to be in the Champions League, the players that were there in 2018 potentially aren't going to carry us there. We need to get good players, better players of the levels of Arsenal, of the levels of City, of the levels of Chelsea to start making that Champions League. It's really disappointing. It's not in our hands now to make it. It would have been great. Both teams in the Champions League. Both teams were top for the period, but I don't know. I can't see us doing it. Arsenal have to throw it away now. Can't see them doing it. Giving them a boost.
Meg, obviously you said you watched it. Nat, I completely agree with your points. Frustrating going forwards in particular. And I agree with what you said about the levels of the players coming in. We've got decent players, but when you want to step into those Champions League places, it's a complete step up, isn't it? It's a different level. Meg, after seeing that performance tonight and obviously the run of games that we've got left, do you have confidence that United will make those Champions League spaces?
Just talking about what Nat said, and I think you can see where we've come from already in the progression that we have made. And because we had to start back in the Championship, you can't attract the players that you want to attract. We're starting to see that we are attracting those players in terms of we had the likes of Heath come to us and Pressers come to us, and other names are transferring over to us. But until we have to build up, you're not just going to have world-class players come to you if you're not going to land Champions League football. So what we're trying, I think there's a whole as Manchester United women, you can see the progression, and if we maintain where we are, even if we drop to 4th, you can still players will look at Manchester United and say, that's the direction that they're heading in. I want to go and play for a team like that are going to compete at the very top level. And that's when you start to bring in players. And I think when we start seeing that, you'll see more players come towards, like the more quality players come to us. Because I honestly think, really, we're missing a few just cutting edge players. I think the likes of Heath not being on the pitch tonight, we haven't kind of got a replacement for her. So when she's not playing, we don't play the way that we need to be playing against Arsenal to go and win. So if we have like a couple more players that we can bring in, like on the same level as Heath, you might even have someone like an Lauren James who's a bit younger but has got an abundance of talent coming through. I do think that we will compete and we will progress from where we are, like third, fourth. We'll probably finish in one of those two places to the likes of second, potentially champions. It is in Arsenal's hand, though, isn't it? And that's whilst I can be confident in Manchester United women, and we haven't. I think we've started this season so fabulously. We've kind of dipped off now, but that again brings in the whole concept of having enough players, enough quality players that if you get a few injuries, you can see games through still. That it is Arsenal's to throw away.
Definitely, and obviously injuries have affected us as well massively. You have to take that into consideration. You've got to feel for the certain players. You've got Leah, for example, having a worldie of a season, gets injured. It's a massive blow to us as well. But you can't, even with the dodgy results we've had of late, you cannot knock the season that United have had, the progress that we have made. I think Casey deserves a lot of credit, but I agree. I think squad depth is a massive thing. And we've had certain injuries that I think will eventually cost us. And I hate to say that, but I do think having those key players missing, I think it will cost us. And I think it's just pointing to the fact that we need that squad depth again, isn't it, really? A bit like we say about the men's team, to be fair. You see that Ollie's slowly getting rid of that dead wood that you call it. The players who aren't good enough, the players who aren't quite that level that we're trying to reach, we need to strengthen. We brought the likes of Donny in, and yet he hasn't really played, but you have to say he's a different option from the bench that we didn't have last year. And I just think that we need to improve that squad depth, definitely. But we look at the men's team, a bit more positive. Obviously, Pogba'S, yesterday as we were calling it. Nick, watching that game yesterday, I mean, that first half, I don't know about you, but I feared the worst. But second half, Ollie deserves credit. And like I say, Pogba'S, how buzzing with you to see that impact from him.
Oh, do you know what? That's what I love to see. Like, because I was like, everyone was just being so negative. And well, obviously, we was in our group chat, like, girls, what's going on? I want to smack my head off the wall. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, it's the best game of my life. Like, I'm not going to like kid or anything. However, you need them players that that magic about him, where you just know they're going to come on and they can just turn it all on its own head. And not only for himself and the goal, how cheeky it was, but also then Bruno improved in the second half as well because they thrive off each other. And also for Pogba, for us as a whole. And then afterwards, I don't know if you've seen Bruno Fernandes put a picture of them both on and put the Italian job on us. It's like, yes, Bruno. And I don't know, I live for them moments. So I think I said yesterday, like, the first half wasn't the best. The second half has much improved, but sometimes it isn't how you do something. It's just doing it. And all we had to do was get to the quarters, which we've done. And now we need to get to the semis. And as I said before, I'm sick of semis, so we need to go all the way.
Definitely.
Good.
Trophy this season. Surely a trophy is going to be high on that list, hasn't it?
Definitely. For me, I think for the lads anyway, Champions League's it's not over till it's over kind of thing, but I think that's done. I think focus, go and get both trophies, go and get the Europa League and the FA Cup. And I was speaking to someone before and they were saying, oh, which one should we prioritise? I'm thinking, no, let's go well, get them both.
All or nothing.
Yeah, and I just think, Pogba is that player, like Nicole's saying, special. And I knew when he came on, he's going to do something. I didn't think it'd be that quick. And like you say, that finish, I was
3
just sitting
minutes.
there like, woo, just like, wow.
Little shimmy.
He just went, and then I couldn't believe it. But it didn't look, when they slowed it down, it looked simple. But just in that live moment, you're just like, whoo, how did he do that? It's quality. I loved it.
Yeah, it's class. He had a bit of swag to everything, Pogba, does he? And even that, like, the little drop of the shoulder he did, he threw everyone off. The keeper didn't know what day it was. Like, he was on his back foot.
So cheeky.
And it just made it look so easy, didn't he? He made it look so easy. I mean, Meg, we don't need to hype Pogba up too much because I'm pretty sure you will do that. So I'm just going to let you take it away. But Pogba, what an impact.
I mean, he literally had Nat's energy. Where is she? Nat's energy talking about the goal with Pogba last night. Like,
yeah.
you could see that he wanted to do something. He came on, took him 2 minutes, and I just think it just shows his class. The way that he took his goal, and like Nick said, like the way that he influenced the players around him as well. Bruno looked 10 times better. Fred, we mentioned last night, 10 times better in that second half. Just he was what we were missing in that first half. Just summed up. He did it in 2 minutes. But yeah, I don't have to say much about him because I think everyone knows. Everyone knows that he's my number 6.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It says evening, so great to see you all back together again. Such a great show. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I love the Villa said Fred did well to keep the ball for your goal as well. Yes, Fred obviously is that tenacity winning the ball back. We know that's the best part of Fred's game, isn't it? He's not the best on the ball, but winning the ball back.
No, the best part of Fred's game is when he shoots. It's amazing. It blows your mind.
Entertainment wise, if you want to laugh, definitely yes. But other than that, Chris did mention the semi-final mental block. That's a big thing as well, isn't it? Last season, we were frustrated. Obviously, keep getting semi-finals and not getting past that. I mean, Nat, I'll start with you on this one. Do you think this season could finally be the time that Ollie reaches the final and actually brings back a trophy?
Yeah, for me, it has to be. We have to, win these things, like get to the final, win the final, win these cups. It's there for winning. Because even I know we're going to talk about Granada and all this, but the teams left in, I was like, whoever, I don't mind. We should be able to beat all of them. The semi-final does look tough, though. I will say that. But even Roma or Ajax, we should be able to beat them, I think the way we just made it look so easy in a way. I know it wasn't, the first half was awful last night, but then the second half we came in, but then we just controlled it, saw it out. There was no there was the one save, but other than that, can you think of them causing us major problems? No, we just saw it out, professional performance. And I think for me that just shows a sort of level, we're sort of stepping up. And I think we need to be on it. Yeah, resilient. We need to
Definitely.
be on it.
Granada, you've already mentioned that. I don't think there's any easy game, to be fair, left in it. I think out of the choice of the teams that you had, I think Granada's probably the one that I would have wanted. I mean, I remember me and Meg saying who we would like, and Granada was the one that pops into our heads. So that's out of the ones, you'd probably say it's the easier one. But Meg, there's no easy game, is there? Yeah, and we always say you've got to beat the best to win it.
And you know what? This whole season, the whole Prem, Champions League, the kind of scorelines that have come out. Look at Spurs last night. That's just an example. They literally threw it away. And I think just across the whole footballing board at the moment, you can't guarantee going through no matter what game you've got. You can't guarantee in the Premier League that you're going to come out with a win because it's just kind of such a topsy-turvy season. Things like last night, I don't know about Nick and Nat because obviously Sophie and I spoke about it last night, but girls, we spoke about how almost we hoped it was kind of half of the game plan that you stay in the game, especially over the 2 legs. We were in it after the first leg still. Yes, we set ourselves up, we had to go and score last night. But then in that first half, we got 0-0 at half time. We were still in the game. And the earlier that we scored last night, the more that AC Milan were going to come on to us. As soon as we scored, you knew that Ibrahimovic was going to come on that pitch last night. And he had that great opportunity at the back post against Luke Shaw. You'd have put money on Ibrahimovic normally scoring that. But I don't think you can predict what's going to happen. Probably the easier game in terms of the easier team that's left in it. But like I've said, this season you can throw any result out and it could potentially be that one.
Yeah, definitely. Someone's already asking about the shirts. I was going to get onto that. I don't know if you guys have seen it on Twitter. Obviously, we've got new shirts on, so we'll discuss that very shortly as well. But in terms of obviously the Granada draw, for me, it's crucial that we get a trophy this season. I really do. I think if Ollie gets Champions League and a trophy, but obviously I'd rather say if Ollie gets second and a trophy, I mean, that's been a great season. Nick, so often we're talking about Ollie in, Ollie out, but whether you're Ollie in or Ollie out, you have to admit that is a good season, isn't it, for us?
It is. I mean, regardless of who the manager is, I just want to win. We're not going to say in years' time, do you remember that? Do you remember that match where we only just scraped through, or we only just pipped it by a gut? No, you're going to remember the trophies, and you're going to remember who was there lifting them. And at the moment, it's not about Ollie in or Ollie out. It's just about united together for me. And like Meg was saying, not obviously not in Europe, but in terms of 1 minute we're winning 9-0, the next minute we've got 0-0 games on the bounce. So nothing is guaranteed. You have to show every opponent respect. And obviously, all I has to think of his game plan ahead and not just a one size fits all, which we know it had issues with in the past, but hopefully he's growing in that part. Also, in terms of Granada, they've never played us. They've never played an English side. Now, you can see that as a positive thing, but you can also see that as we don't really know what to expect, how they're going to play against us. So it's just about composure. And like Meg said, keep yourself in the game. And in terms of the mental block, it's the destiny's in our hands. You've got to be the best. You've got to beat the best. And you've got to have the mentality that we can do that regardless of what happens between now and then. We've just got to have the mentality that we can do that. Put everything on the pitch and I'll be happy. But yeah, if we got Champions League and a trophy, we've got 2 chances of winning trophies. Second, even better, I would be happy. And I think any United fan that said they're not happy purely because of who the manager is with that, they're not. I'd take the fan off and just say United person. Personally.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's what it is, though, isn't it? Nicole? People are too he should do this, he should do that, and he should make a sub at this time. And I'm thinking to myself, you're a fan, yeah? You just want the best team to go out there. You want them to play for the badge. You want them to have passion. You want them to win. So if it's a little shimmy from Pogba and it's
doesn't always have to be pretty.
Yeah,
doesn't always have to be pretty. Just get to the next stage.
Yeah.
Started.
Yeah. And especially for a game like that.
Bothered about the game and the performance, and it's just no, just care about the win and the trophies at the end.
That's why after last night, I was like, good night. I was happy. Turned social media off, got in bed, listened to me tunes, happy as Larry. Negative, go away.
Yeah, you could nobody's telling me that they sat there as Man United fan last night and didn't celebrate the goal and celebrate at 90 minutes or 95 minutes by the time we finished playing. Regardless of whether you're Ollie in, Ollie out, you don't think he's got a style of play. Let me tell you now, you were celebrating, and you that is the end of it. Just take it as it is. We got through last night. That was it. That's all that needs.
Yeah.
Okay, we won 1-0, and we, Henderson made a great save at the back post to keep it that way.
Well done, Hendo.
But we did it. But we did it, and that's what you just got to do it.
Yeah,
I agree. I think especially in games like that where obviously we're away from home against a great team in AC Milan, probably the best AC Milan that's been in many years now. Like I say, Europa League, a lot of pressure on us to get a trophy this season. It's definitely more about the result than performance. I don't care what anybody says, it's more about the result than the performance in games like that. And of course, you can't always come out and play absolutely awful first half. You can't always get away with that. But on this occasion, surely, give the players a break. We went there to do a job. Meg, you said this on our call there yesterday. You said we went there to do a job. We did the job. We come home. That's it. Job done. We move on. Especially, obviously, we've got Leicester again at the weekend. Another massive game. I'm just glad that we got through that. Certain players are kept fit. We managed to bring certain players back, like Paul Pogba. Donny's back amongst the squad as well. I'm just glad that we can sit here and say we're through to the next round. Imagine being a Spurs fan right now. They put a strong team out and then ended up getting knocked out of the Europa League, and you still see United fans blowing it.
Yeah, because the way you said it, imagine being a Spurs fan right now.
Expressions I feel your pain, I really do. But
we really do. We really, really do.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact is that we're through to the next round, so I can't see how certain fans can be unhappy. We got the result, we got the job done, we're on to the next round, and that's the way that I see it. What are your thoughts then? Nat, I'll start with you on the new shirt sponsor. Obviously, Team View it is. I've seen a little sideways arrows. A lot of people saying that's referring to our style of play, particularly in that midfield, the sideways passing, which I thought was quite funny. But is it better? I mean, the Chevrolet for me, I hate it. I hate that gold Chevrolet. I think if they at least change the colour and stuff, it would be better. But that gold Chevrolet on every shirt, I'll be glad to see the back of that, Nat.
Yeah, I've heard it's going to be. Yeah, love that pink one as well, Nicole.
I'm wondering what on earth he was doing.
I mean,
I'm being good.
I know we're on lights in camera.
Watershed.
Yeah. Well, it is past 9, isn't it? Let's go. For me, I think it's all right. I mean, I know a lot of people. I've seen people mock it up on shirts, and it looked all right. Depends what shirt we have. I've heard, obviously, they're blue, their logo, and obviously, that's not going to happen. So I've heard they're going to change it to white for Man United. So it'll be good, There's this new white and blue shirt, similar to the training kit. So if they have that as an away kit, it'll probably blend in to the background, you know what I mean? And that's what it is with these sponsors. You don't really look for a shirt for the sponsor, do you? You look for the badge, name on the back, as long as it's got a nice style. I'm not really mad for the zebra one. I'm not going to lie, but we seem to be winning in it. What? So as long as it's
that was a grower for me. It wasn't a shower, it was a grower. And now I've got it in the
I don't like
Such a hypocrite, mate. Such a hypocrite. I was like, I'm never buying it. Now I'm like, boom. Black and white zebras, baby.
Well, it would look
Carry
better
on.
if you didn't have that gold on it, you know, and just have like a white logo and just blended in. So,
Yeah, like monochrome.
you know,
Totally agree. Yeah, I just hate the big gold.
Look at the shirt behind you, the sharp shirt.
Yeah, this one.
Like I
wish we had sharp back.
Like a plain white logo, and like Vodafone was like plain white, and I just think, ironically, it looks sharp. It looks fresh, like because it is just the one colour, rather than like the gold. When I seen the team viewer come out and I seen the blue logo, I was thinking, how are we going to match up this blue with like a red shirt? Like that is just going to clash horribly. But look, it's about aesthetics, isn't it? It's not, you know, that's just me being picky and saying, well, I'd like a white logo. It's not all about that, but the Sharp and the Vodafone logos for me, I loved them. They were so good.
To be fair, even like AIG though, but you are right, like that plain white sponsor. Yeah, Alex has got exactly. But the white logo looks better, doesn't it? I think that gold, like I say, even if it was an all black Chevrolet or all white or even all red, just the gold, it just doesn't match with anything.
For me, anything would have been better than that, unless it had something like Manchester City or Liverpool on it. No, apart from that, anything else would have been better than that, like a bear in the woods. Actually, let's not go there.
You're going to spark up all these random questions in the chat. By the way, guys, don't forget, it is Feel Good Friday. Get your random questions in the chat as well, and we'll do our best to answer them. We had a few bizarre ones last week. We normally end up on the topic of food, to be fair, so just get involved, get some questions asked as well.
Mix it up a bit.
Yeah, let's mix it up a bit. But Leicester at the weekend, we spoke about obviously the Granada draw. We spoke about the fact that we've had a lot of tough games. This is another opportunity again to get closer to getting a trophy. Leicester are not going to be a pushover. Nick, I'll start with you on this one. Are you feeling confident going into that?
Yes and no. Yes, as in right now, I'm like, yes, as in right now, I'm like, come on, United, let's get to a semi, let's do it. But when it comes to the day, like, you know, like when we did a video, but was it before the derby? I spoke to you and I was buzzing for it. The closer it was getting, I felt physically sick. Like, you know, when it just gets closer, you're like, oh, I'm feeling it. But yeah, I don't want Vardy to have a party. Do you know what I mean? It's been on form with his assist, and I don't know what's going to happen with the goalkeeping situation. Obviously, Henderson has been doing a brilliant job, but then obviously now De Gea can come back and stuff, and then that makes me panic a little bit because I'm like, oh God, if De Gea comes back, is he going to be like flapping and stuff? So not that I think he will, but I mean, you know, like all the different things that go through your mind. So I think just take it at face value and just have that same mentality of let's just get to the next stage however possible. It might not be the prettiest, but if it's a win, I'll take it, please. So the answer to your question is yes, I'm confident, but just before kickoff, no, I'm not confident. That's my answer to your question.
That's me, literally every United game. Literally every United game. The closer it gets the game down, the nerves kick in, the excitement kicks in. And like as much as anything, I love seeing United play, but I cannot wait till the game's over, so it's like done with. You know what I mean? Just like
that 5 minutes.
That one's done.
5 minutes injury time was the longest. Oh, Jesus, honest to God.
I mean, Meg, Leicester at the weekend. Hopefully, Vardy's not going to have a party, but it's not going to be an easy game, is it?
No, and it's not just Vardy that's a threat in their team. Like they've got talented players going in there, going forward.
By the way. Let me just add in, by the way, you mentioned other players. Ian Nacho, did you all see his interview, his post-match interview when he dedicated the win to the mothers?
It's just a little heart for him.
That was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
What a little gent he was. I
know.
Think, like, that whole day must have been so special for him, obviously, losing his mum and it being Mother's Day and it was his first hat-trick. And I just think, like, you know, when you're just grateful for him. Like, for him, like, I just felt grateful for him that he was just, like, it managed to happen for him because we said it before, the minority of people in this world that are actually like Premier League footballers, to then go and actually do that as well and have all that like background of his family and stuff like that. So just fair play to him, and then be able to actually like come on telly and speak like that.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Fair play to him.
On a human level, and he's also had scored 5 in the last 3 Premier League games as well. So
they've got a lot of good players.
Yeah. They've also got a lot of injuries as well. Yeah, definitely. It'd be interesting to see, though. I mean, I'll obviously stay with you on this one because I haven't really let you have your say yet because I interrupted you rudely. I apologise. I just put it in after an interview. But do you think Ollie will rotate a lot for this game? Because obviously, games in quick succession. But also, you got that thought in your mind that we really want to win a trophy. So I'll be interested to see how he's going to play this.
Yeah, I think I expect to see a bit of rotation. I've seen in his press conference that he's hoping to have Cavani and Martial to be able to pick them at least in the squad. Pogba, he was talking about, obviously doesn't know whether he'll be able to get 90 minutes out of him, so it'd be interesting to see whether he starts him and brings him off, or brings him on as that impact again, and that game plan of, stay in the game, and then having somebody like Pogba to be able to come onto the pitch. I think that will depend on whether Cavani and Martial are fit, and not only are they fit enough to make the squad, are they fit enough to start and rotate it. Rashford, he was on about, he doesn't know whether it was a risk, so they didn't want to take. That's why they took him off. So I think until we kind of hear, especially attacking wise, about those 4 players, whether we will see some rotation. And then you've got the De Gea and Henderson argument. You've got the Barry and Lindelof. Lindelof had a great game last night. So, but do you hope that kind of Lindelof takes that into the Premier League and put Barry in for the cup?
Yeah,
there's a whole load of balance that he's got to do at the moment. Yeah.
Obviously, it's international break as well, just after it. So a lot of people are saying in the chat, why would we rotate when the players are going to have international break after that?
That's a fair point.
Yeah, it is a fair point.
2 ways of looking at it.
Definitely. And thank you to Natraj for the super chat. He says, glad to see you ladies creating content independently. Love to see it. Speaking of goalkeepers, Henderson is more well-rounded, better suited for us. Nick, you mentioned that you feel Henderson's been doing really well in goal. Would you keep him in goal against Leicester? Because you'd have to say he doesn't deserve to be dropped, does he? But like you've already mentioned, we do for certain cup competitions, we tend to rotate. The Gea obviously hasn't played.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's balanced all over. He's got headaches.
It's not that I'm for or against it. It's just that I could argue either point. I'm not sitting on the fence. I could genuinely argue either point, because you could think, well, obviously De Gea is on a high. He's come back and he wants to get stuck in. But then also from Henderson's point of view, it's like he's been absolutely smashing it. He got another clean sheet and he doesn't deserve to be dropped. But then it's a cup game, so then does he stay in and then we bring De Gea in for the next Premier League game? Actually, I've just answered my own question. Keep Hendo and start the game for the next Premier League game. I've just answered my own question. There we go. I'll shut up now.
There we go, didn't it? A random question here, and it is about food, so we'll get on to that in a minute. But Nat, how would you say you're feeling about the game against Leicester at the weekend?
I'm confident, because I know, we've not struggled through, but we've got through games. We've been winning. We're on a little run. We've done. I know we drew against Milan the first one, but we kept clean sheets. I think Lindelof and Maguire are doing really well. I think Hendo's doing really well. I wouldn't even change the back 5, because settle back 5, that's how you build from it. I think with Cavani coming back in, Pogba's back in. When Pogba plays, Bruno plays better. Martial, we all know he had a great game against City, so I'm looking forward to him running at players again. So I am confident, but then I'm like Nicole and what So said, the closer it gets, you look at their team, you see what they've done before, and you think, shit, we're going to get beaten. And then you're like, not beat, but you know what I mean? You get that nervous.
Tingles. All tingles.
And it's all because I'm not with, around everyone. It's not a buzz of it. And all that buzz is on your own. Because no one in my house really watches it. And I'm just sort of on my own.
It's a lot in it when you're on your own and you don't have that energy to thrive. Like, everyone's just looking at you like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Just watching the football. Don't mind me.
We need to do a watch along at some point, actually. So we're not alone.
That'll be good.
Not with me. Not with me. You'd get reported.
I reckon you'd be so entertaining, Nick.
Entertaining, perhaps.
Guys, get in the chat. Would you like to see a ladies in red watch along for your game?
I would boot off though. I'd be swearing left, right, and centre. So
it's all right.
Be like, need something in front.
We've already had Nicole scripting anyway, so it's all right. So this random question: what is the weirdest food combination that you like that other people might be repulsed by?
Can I just say, I've seen Penandez in the chat saying about Flex's cookies in hot milk and hot water.
I saw that.
That is not normal behaviour. That's psycho behaviour. That's not acceptable. I don't know where he picked that up from, but
cookies in
no.
Hot water.
Cookies in it. Oh dear, no, that's something you do in prison. That's not normal.
Oh dear.
That's such a mum voice. Oh God.
I don't know. I like a bit of everything. I don't know what's weird. I like
I've
everything.
got a weird one.
Go on. Maybe I like that. I like everything though. So.
No, you're gonna all think I'm so strange. Not all the time, but I used to have absolutely tomato sauce on everything. I still do 70-80% of things. I can have a curry with tomato sauce on it. Is that weird?
No, get out. Leave the chat. Kick her out now.
Kick her out.
Leave the chat. Get out.
You see, Nicole has left the chat. Like.
Yeah, leave, Nicole.
Bye, hon. I told you it was weird, but I don't
It's
actually
weird.
fair to myself. I don't have it all the time. When I was a kid, I used to always have tomato sauce, whereas now I'm normal. No, not to lie. But now I can have a curry without tomato sauce. But if you put tomato sauce in it, I could eat them together.
Wow, that's a crime, that.
It's more controversial than Soph's golf comment. I don't think so.
That's Soph was right. This is a crime. Crime against curries.
I know some people have like super noodle sandwiches. I think that's a bit weird.
That's not weird. That's a man staple. Anything put in a butter.
Bread's all like soggy.
No, it's all right.
It's the combination. You don't just whack anything in bread and you started. In
There's
Manchester, we whack anything on bread.
There's a place, ladies. There's a place called Frank, and it does that. It does like chicken breast, like breaded chicken breast with super noodles and hot sauce and in a toasty. It's actually all right. And it does loads of great toasties.
Can someone else say one now? Are making me look so strange?
Meg,
give me a weird one.
Meg, your Chinese order's weird. I'm just gonna say that your Chinese order.
No curry.
Just rice and prawn crackers.
That's then just scoop it up. Honestly,
like a little
saves you all on washing up. It's like a life hack. That's not weird. It's a life hack. I'm telling you now.
You know what? I'm not going to lock it because I imagine it tastes banging. But
I've just had Chinese, but I had curry sauce on it.
Respect. Natraj said, thank you for the contribution. He said, Rashford's playing the whole season with his shoulder injury so bad that he'll need surgery after the Euros. It doesn't get mentioned enough. And yes, to a watch along. Yeah, I think Rashford definitely needs a rest, to be honest with you. I think he can see that he's fatigued and needs a rest. He's had a brilliant season by his standards, but you don't want to, when a player's got an injury like that, especially at the age he's at, you don't want to overdo it. Do you know what I mean? I think he does need that rest. But obviously, it's credit to him and how important of a player Ollie obviously thinks he is for us as well. But definitely, I think a rest is coming as well. I think he will have a rest this weekend. After them taking him off, I think it's obviously not confident that he's 100%. So I think we'll probably see a Rashford rest of the weekend. Ryan agrees with you in that, saying kick Nicole out, get rid of her, kick her out.
I'm not allowed out. I will when Boris lets me.
yeah. Nah. Ian, get out.
Sweet chili sauce.
What? No,
Ian, I want some clarification.
What do you mean, like on your turkey or what? On your pigs in blankets?
Oh, mate.
Listen, I'm weird, but you have to elaborate. Banana and cheese.
Again, how? Just like I'm imagining like a wad of cheese and a banana just on a plate. Like, what?
I'm imagining like you cut the banana and then you wrap it in cheese and then eat it like a cheese sandwich.
I could see Meg doing this.
I'll have a banana sandwich
and a prawn cracker with a prawn cracker.
Scoop it up, so you got to do with your fork.
And that rice. Funny. Leg problem is spotted for the Milan game. He has to be rested. Yeah, it was his ankle, I believe, in the warm-up, wasn't it, that he had an issue with. Big up to Lisa. Lisa is in the chat. Make sure you go and check out Lisa's Twitch streams, FIFA streams. Baller on FIFA, definitely. Lisa will have to play for Pro Cup again soon.
The rainbow slip goal, Lisa, by the way.
Yes. Applause to that, definitely. Proper techers on FIFA. Turkey with sweet chili, amazing. That's like no, like she can't read it. It's like hurting.
Do you not just have gravy? In Manchester, we have gravy on everything. You should just have gravy. Gravy's the one, babe.
Pop up the comment that says Anto78 sausage roll on a bomb. What's a bomb?
Nick,
no, a bomb. Listen, a bomb is a bomb.
No, come on, get out now. Come on. What's a bomb? Come on, what is bomb?
What is a bomb? Is that like a bap? What is it?
No, it's a bomb. Not. Will you help me, please?
It's like it's bread roll, isn't it? Like,
but it's like chat. Is it a bomb?
Okay, so it's a bread roll.
It's a bread roll.
But are you putting like a full on
bomb? Get in now. It's a bomb. Don't set me off.
But
I've actually got a question, and it's not food related. Go on, Meg. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, don't get it twisted. Put about no, Meg. Think pineapple on stick when you was a kid. Pineapple on pizza. Can we just have a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I agree with this. It's a
pineapple.
Because I'm having a thumbs up. Nah, get out. I'm out.
He's done.
2-0.
It's done.
This is just turning into a girl telling each other to do one.
I know.
It's a roll.
Whoa, you also that in unison, man. Yeah, my question, and it's not a food related one. I'm sure we get back onto food at some point. But before a match, this is genuine on a match day. Do any of you have any like superstitions? So United are playing. Is there anything that you guys do in particular, like what you think it brings you luck? So, for example, if I don't post a picture in a United shirt before a game, so say, for example, I'm at work or I struggle to do it, we always play badly and we normally lose, to be fair.
Yeah.
I always do that picture now because that's like my superstition. I feel like I have to do that in order for us to do well.
It's become like a tradition, and I feel like if I don't and we lose, that's my fault. But I also feel like if I used to be in work and I couldn't have my United shirt on because I had my uniform on, and then I'd get home, I'd put on a clothes, and then we got beat. I was like, oh my god, I should have put it on underneath. And I used to always have this thing where I had to wear something red as well as the United top. I had to wear something red as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough. No,
I've got nothing.
You got no superstition.
Sorry, girls. Absolutely nothing. Only when I'm playing football do I have certain.
What do you do?
Yeah, what's that?
My right leg first, if you want to put, so like my right shin pad on first, my right sock on first, my right boot on first. So always the right one.
Do you get out the right side of the bed as well? Wait, is that right?
I do, because that's
the wrong one.
That's your side.
That's my.
Match day. She gets at the wrong side of the bed, definitely. Meg on it.
That's why she's late.
But you will see like my face before a game is like this.
Game face.
Game face all straight up.
That's just how I look 24/7, me.
For me, I'm sort of a bit like Nicole. I like both of you actually. You, Nicole, and so. Oh, I think someone's coming in my house. I have to have my United shirt on. Someone was just opening the door. I was like, "What's going on?"
Oh no!
No, so I have to have my United shirt on. I have to go. Especially if I'm going game, whether it's away, home, wherever. I always have to have my United shirt on. So even if I finish work and it's like 30 minutes to get there, I'll make sure I just throw my United shirt on top of whatever I was wearing. Even if it's a dress, I'll just throw it on. Obviously, with less now with what we're doing, but with there being no fans, I'm not really bothered anymore. But when I was going Old Trafford, when I was there, it was always had to have that United shirt on.
You know what? I asked this on Twitter. I asked this on Twitter the other week about superstitions, and a few people, if they're in the chat, get in the chat so they know I'm not lying, actually said that they can't go toilet either in the first half or the second half. Like they can't go toilet because when they've been to the toilet. Who's that laughing? Please tell me who that like. He's laughing because it sounds like a demon.
No, what's that coming into your room?
No, it's the demon.
I'm on the own and kid free. I'm scared. But yeah, people couldn't go to the toilet at a specific time because when they went to the toilet at that time, like we got knocked out or something again. I'm like, have a wee, please.
I'm that person though. If I go to the toilet, I guarantee we score.
Oh, I always miss it. Yeah. But then again, that's a good thing in a way. Sometimes when we need to score and there's like 30 seconds left, I'm like, go to the toilet. Don't work when you do it on purpose, though.
No, it doesn't. It's right. Dave said when I used to play disability football, I used to take my boots up. But see, when I'm playing football, I don't really have a superstition when I play, to be honest with you. I don't.
Because you're that good.
No, it's just, I don't know. I wing it, Nick. I think it's more the case that I just winged it, to be fair. No, I don't have a superstition when I'm playing. Not like Meg's right foot first. Anything like that, to be honest. No, nothing like that at all.
Is there any more funny questions, anyone?
Yeah, get them in the chat.
Definitely
get them in the chat. Tom's just asked about Dan James. That's a player that actually I want to touch on. Nat, I don't think I've really asked you about Dan James. What's your thoughts on him? Yesterday he got a bit stick. He worked tirelessly, as I mentioned on our Cool Down show. He worked absolutely tirelessly. In that counter-attacking style, I think he's effective. But the amount of times he got brushed off the ball and pushed over, I think he needs to get to the gym a little bit, bless him.
Yeah, he's a small lad, but he's doing well, and he's started off well. You know, when his United career, he scored a lot of goals. Then probably, he did get figured out, but I think he just needs to learn when to pass it a lot more. There was a chance, and he should have passed it through, and he went and he drove forward. But I think, you know, he's good for, like you say, our counter-attacking style, bombing down the wing. If you need an outlet, he's the kind of guy who'll give it you. But like you say, just work on his passing, work on his sometimes a bit of shooting and making the right decisions. And I think that's it. He's a young lad, come from Swansea, not played in like sort of the environment like Man United. He's stepped out a bit, come back in, and I think he's having a great, game time that he's had recently. He's someone I can see causing problems on. It's Sunday, isn't it, that we're playing? So he's someone I can see causing problems. That's wrong.
Sorry, I'm just. I had to click on that.
Wait,
what?
What do you put? Did you put the sprouts in the porridge and stir it in?
I need
I'm
to
just
hear
like, what? They're just going in the porridge. Oh God! You put sugar on it.
That's weird. I don't like sprouts anyway, so I think that just reports.
I don't, but I need to know whether you put the sprouts in the porridge or whether you just like throw the porridge on the sprouts. I need to know how you do it.
They're just floating around like in disguise, and every now and again you go, we got a sprout like hidden in between the milk and the porridge.
No, this is a joke. That's banter. That's banter. That.
Surely, it's got to be a joke. Got to be a joke. Someone's having a good old laugh. I'd say that last even laugh.
Sorry.
It's all right. He's having a good time. He's laughing at the sprouts and porridge coming. I reckon that's what it is.
I'm having a wild Friday night.
I saw someone ask me, I think it was Dan who asked me in the chat, and I'm sorry, Daniel Nicholson, I can't find it, but he asked about Lingard. He says, how can he be good enough for England and then not good enough to play for Manchester United? Does anybody want to have a go at answering that question? But I think it is. I mean, let's be honest. Messi Lingard, we were calling him for a while. He had a great run of form at United. Obviously, stuff's happened off the pitch. He wasn't enjoying his football. I'm happy to see him back at West Ham. But I think we all know that Jesse Lingard is a decent player. I think he is a squad player for United at best. But he went through that form where he was outstanding. We were calling him Messi Lingard. Like he was flying, wasn't he? And then obviously
stuff has happened off the pitch. Having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the right time for it. Maybe flip it on its head a bit. Maybe going out on loan has helped him do that.
Yeah.
As opposed to seeing it as a negative thing.
Like you just said, like he is a squad player, and I think when we were using him before, we weren't good enough as a whole team. So when you bring somebody on and they're not making an impact because the whole team isn't doing great, then you kind of look at that player and go, well, you're not doing good enough because you're not making the impact when you're coming on. So, and he was never really going to start when you've got the likes of Bruno Fernandes playing in that same position. Let's face it, if you're going to put Lingard and Bruno and you've got to choose one of them, you're going to choose Bruno because of the way that he plays. But then when you don't make that impact as a sub, you kind of just like get dropped down the pecking order, get dropped down again and dropped down again. For me, the fact that he's gone out to West Ham on loan and he's getting the game time and he's now showing what he can do with that, like with the run of games, with the run of the minutes, I think fair play to him, and I think I'm genuinely happy for him that he's found this form again, and that he's been picked. That just shows the mentality of him, by the way, that he has never ever given up. Even like throughout this season when he wasn't getting picked, and when he went to West Ham, straight away he was like, he didn't need a couple of games to get into it. He was already at the level that he needed to be in terms of fitness, in terms of mentality. Just shows kind of what character he is, and they get slated a lot. But for me, that shows exactly what kind of character he is. He's never, ever given up.
Yeah, definitely. I love Jesse Lingard, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Like, I really like Jesse Lingard, and I wish nothing but the best.
I think it's hard not to. Did you see him like the other week? I was getting mixed up with time, but when he was letting on to all the United players, I was just like, oh, that's so cute. Well, he is one. Do you know what I mean? But you know what? You know what I mean. I'm going to stop saying you know
definitely.
What I mean.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that for Jesse Lingard, like you mentioned, he's enjoying his football again. And you have to say on form, he more than deserves his space in that England squad. On form, he's been amazing at West Ham. He really has, and I know the West Ham fans love him. And David has mentioned mental health. Obviously, he struggled with mental health. We are going to do a little chat on mental health in a second, and it ties quite nicely into that. But off the pitch, a lot of time we forget that footballers are human beings. He obviously had issues that were going on, a lot of United fans got on his back and they were slating him. But realistically, I'm just glad that Ollie has obviously stood by him. He said, "Look, go and have fun. Jesse, go and play your football. There might be a space coming back for you." Do you know what I mean? He seems the kind of Ollie that he's put an arm around him. Yeah, it isn't like he said you're not good enough and you need to go elsewhere. He's giving him a chance really to blossom again and play football and play like he enjoys it. Do you think that? I mean, long term, that can you see Lingard coming back to United, or do you think it'll be made permanent?
Permanent.
Yeah.
Is it me? You speaking to? Sorry, I didn't. No, sorry. I think there's talk of £15 million, isn't there? So for me, I think that's a good move for us. I mean, I like Jesse. Like you said, he's a good player, but he's a squad player for us. And people are sort of saying England. Well, I think we've got a better squad than England. Not in a,
He looks at home. He looks at home, doesn't he? And that's not in a disrespectful way. I'm saying for him and for us, I want the best for him. Like I said, I really like the guy, me. So I just wish him the best.
I mean, mental health
or something like that, I'll be happy as well. As part of it, maybe. I don't know.
Declan Rice, I would like him at United, to be fair. I think he's the kind of player that we need in that middle as well. So if we could
did you see Declan Rice comment on Harry Maguire's Instagram as well?
Yes.
Just to send rumour mill into overdrive there, that is.
They know what they're doing there. I don't get anyone.
Can I just say, my favourite ever Instagram comment is Bailly writing to Maguire, you've got a big head. I'm sorry, but nothing will ever top that. Give him an award.
Boy, what a guy, Eric Boy.
I love him. He's so funny.
He is. But in terms of mental health, I mean, Nick, I know that you wanted to talk about this a little bit as well, but mentioned Jesse Lingard. Obviously, he's a human being. We've been through lockdown as human beings as well recently, and I mean, I don't know about you girls, but this lockdown in particular for me, I've struggled in this one. I think this has been the toughest one. And the idea of the fact that we should be free, not long now. I can't wait for that. But we've got to stay positive. Nick, I know that you're going to touch on it, but for me, like, positivity is the biggest thing. Like, your posts and I'm going to say this from a personal, like seeing Nicole's post on Twitter, like they're just filming with joy, and I genuinely mean that. Like, you might be having the crappiest day, and I go into Twitter and I guarantee Nicole's put some sort of cheese on there, or she's put a post on there, inspirational post, and people doing stuff like that. Like, it shows that small things go a long way. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. Thanks, though. I wasn't expecting you to say that. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Love you. No, but I think a lot of us, like, everyone has down days, and I think first of all we need to stop comparing ourselves to social media, because social media as a concept, it's not real. We're here now on social media. We post on social media, but you might see me post a happy photo when I've got all my makeup done up. That might have been taken 2 weeks before. It isn't necessarily a representation of. Also, I think first of all, comparison. You're only going to destroy yourself by comparing yourself. Appreciate who you are. Second of all, I think we're all guilty of thinking too far ahead. I think that what's helped me the most is being in the present. If anyone thinks too far ahead, especially if you suffer with anxiety, especially if you suffer with depression, it's going to get on top of you even more. All we have right now is this moment. And it's good to look ahead and be positive, like our Soph said. Where was she that way? It's good to be positive and look ahead, because things are getting better and we're never going to take it for granted again. But at the same time, don't put pressure on yourself. My motto is get to tomorrow and then go from there. And this is why I put silly things on. I might put like, oh, think of this word or something. And another day I might see something that helped me and then I'll post it. And then if one person says to me that helped me, that genuinely helps me as well. Just knowing that someone else has smiled because of me. And it's like, it's a domino effect. And this is why I don't reply to trolls anymore, because only hurt people hurt people. If someone is sitting there sending me abuse and they don't know me, I realise that something is going terribly wrong in their life. And in fact, I'm going to say this to the people that send me abuse, that send Soph abuse, that send Meg abuse, that send Nat abuse, that send my Emma abuse, which is disgusting. I'm going to say to you, I would suggest that you maybe have a look at your life and maybe you get help, because you deserve it just as much as us. And we're all in this together one day at a time. But yeah, just breathe. Just do whatever you need to do. Like, I think, I don't know, girls, if you've seen Caroline Flack's documentary, but this woman was the most beautiful, successful woman in terms of social media. She was a pin-up, and she used to sit there. Her own family have said she used to sit there on Twitter reading comments about herself. Now, you could easily say, well, just put the phone down, but when you're in that headspace, it's very, very difficult to do that. And that's why I say, if you haven't got anything else to say, anything nice to say nothing at all. Just be kind all the time. Everyone's fighting battles you know nothing about. It only takes one thing to completely break someone, and she's never coming back. So let's use her legacy to be kinder and also to ask each other, and not just to ask, but to listen as well. And I think one more important thing is also, because I know sometimes when you're in that place, if someone isn't speaking to you, you might take that as a, it's towards you, but it's not necessarily personal. You have to bear in mind that everyone is dealing with things. So, for example, if I message Meg and Meg doesn't get back to me, instead of thinking, oh, why is Meg not messaging me? I might think, hang on a minute, Meg's the mum. Meg's got a job, Meg's got a husband, she's got her own things. So sometimes we have to maybe just like, let it be. Don't overanalyze everything, one day at a time, and just be there for each other as and when. And just be kind all the time. That's all.
That's all I'm saying to that.
Oh, mic drop.
Yeah. No, she's spot on though, Nikki. You mentioned obviously about ignoring the trolls and stuff. I'm sure all four of us here are sat here. I mean, I've definitely gone through it where I've sat and read posts about myself, been upset. I've even cried at posts in the past. But you get to a point where you think, you know what, like you say, the people who are doing that are obviously struggling themselves. You don't just hurl abuse at people for no reason. There's obviously something going on there. And I think it's about being the bigger person, isn't it? The better person, and just not rising to it and not giving the attention.
Choose peace. Choose peace. Choose your own peace over someone else's argument.
Definitely. And curlers, I just want to read this out as well, because this is why we're here. We want to make people smile. We want to give positivity. We are influencers at the end of the day, and I'm not all about being negative. Like Nick said earlier, negative can go away. We're all about the positivity.
In the bin.
In the bin. Curly said, you never know when you will become depressed. I've suffered from a long-term illness for over 25 years. What has got me through it has been Manchester United and people like you girls. Thank you so much for that, Curlers. And obviously we wish you all the best, and we hope that you're doing well. And we're glad that we can make people smile, because that's what we do it for. But yeah, girls, mental health is massive, especially this. Obviously, you mentioned Caroline Flack, with lockdowns going on and stuff as well. It's been tough, hasn't it? This past year has been really tough for a lot of people, like I've already mentioned, in particular this last lockdown. But we can finally see a silver lining. We're getting there. Manchester United are on the up as well. There's plenty to smile about, and I think it's about that, isn't it, Meg? I think it's about finding the positives.
Yeah, and not just Manchester United, but like find something that makes you happy and do that.
Anything.
Find a little bit of happiness in each day. That I guarantee that there will be some form of happiness. And like Nick says, it's just about getting through each day. A day only lasts 24 hours, and you've got another opportunity the next morning. So, for me, very much like echo what Nicole says, and just think that everybody is going through something, and especially as and I'm not talking on behalf of footballers, because I'm not their personal person to speak on their behalf, but they are humans. So whether they are, just because they're footballers, doesn't mean that they haven't got feelings, and they see so much abuse online, and just even abuse to just people who are online to each other. I honestly just shrug my shoulders now to just think, wow, you're wasting your own time to go online and say something mean. Firstly, those footballers, and you have no impact on their life. They're not going to do anything about it. Like, unless it's racial, they will not even. It won't knock their ego at all. But there's no reason to be so disgusting to each other. At the end of the day, we're all humans, all of us. Yeah. Unless you're a secret form of alien, that's your issue to deal with.
I think I am.
But there is no reason to be nasty to each other.
And then we've got this one, Nat. Obviously, we have already touched on it at the start of the show. I've just seen that we're on 53 minutes. I didn't even realise that, so obviously we'll round up very soon. But Nat, shocking today. Our ladies, how do you think we'll cope against West Ham at Old Trafford? Playing at Old Trafford, obviously, that's great for the team. But after this result, how do you think they're going to cope with that?
Bounce back. That's all you can do. That's the United way. When you had bad performances, you've got to bounce back. You've got to put everything into it. I think we can't afford now to drop any points anywhere, even a draw. You know what I mean? If we draw a game, it's over. It's already out of our hands. So let's still sort of keep it in our hands, whereby we've got the points on the board. Arsenal have a game in hand, so I'd rather have the points than a game in hand. So they've still got to win that game in hand to go above us. But let's first game at Old Trafford for the ladies. Let's everyone get behind them. Everyone supporting it. It's on an international break. I know we can't be there. It would have been so great if we could. But, just hopefully more people watching, more people behind them. Like you say, Old Trafford, they deserve it. I'm happy for them for it.
Definitely. Ian, I'm going to answer this as well. Luna is doing very well, thank you. She's recovering from her 2 operations she had on Monday. She's back to her normal self. She can't like jump or anything at the minute, but she's loopy, so we're having a bit of a job trying to calm her down and stop her from being energetic. But yes, she's good, and thank you for asking. I really do appreciate that. To round up, obviously, guys, get your score predictions against Leicester in the chat. I'm going to ask the girls for theirs. Nick, I'm not going to put you on the spot because see your face there. I'll let you go second because I'm nice like that.
Thank you.
Nat, go on. I'll let you start, Nat. What do you think? You said you're feeling confident for Leicester game, so I'm going to come to you first. What do you reckon?
3-1 United. I don't know. Maybe that's too confident, but I do think.
No, I like that energy. Stick with it.
Go for it. 3-1 United. Nick, what are you thinking?
2-1. Bruno
United.
Fernandes penalty for the second.
Fernandes. A lot of people, when I was on that Robbie thing saying Fernandes, I was obviously doing it to mock the fact that people get so annoyed and pissed off at the fact that he scores penalties. They're like, why is she saying Fernandes? She's a United fan. I'm like, do you not get why I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, Fernandes. Hopefully, he'll come back at the weekend. You 3-1 was confident, but 5-1 from Acid, I would definitely take that. 3-1 to United, 2-0, 2-1. The amount of clean sheets we've been keeping lately, to be fair. I mean, Meg, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'd like to have been as confident as Acid, go with the 5-1. I'd happily take that, but I'm going to go with the 2-0.
2-0? Another clean sheet?
I'm keeping a clean sheet. I'm with the boys at the back.
You know what? I think I'm going to go with Nat's prediction. I'm going to go with a 3-1. I think we'll concede, but I just hope going forwards. I hope it's a bit of an open game. Genuine cup tie, both teams going for it. And I think that would suit us better as well. So, yeah, I'm going to say 3-1. I don't think it'll be a 3-1 where we absolutely batter them, though. I think we'll probably get another goal later on when Leicester are pushing a bit more. I think it'll be one of them. But, yeah, 3-1 is my prediction. Girls, it's been absolutely fantastic. I apologise that I've kept you for longer than obviously we planned. I can't believe that time flies when you're having fun, as they say.
I was going to go to the pub as well. God.
Sorry, Nick.
You're right. In a few weeks.
Yeah.
Not long now. Everyone in the chat, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, we love communicating with you guys and interacting and having some of the mad comments that we get. That's why I love the ladies in red, because we get so random at times. I mean, we've been talking about sprouts in porridge and all sorts tonight. So yeah, it's been very random, but I've loved every single second of it. If you are new, please hit that sub button. We're so close to 15k. Obviously, drop a like on the video as well. Make sure you give all of the girls a follow. You can see all their ats on the screen as well. Yeah, thank you to all the ladies for coming on. Meg, I'll start with you. Thank you again for taking the time to come on.
No, thank you very much to everyone in the chat joining us on our Friday evening. And thanks to the girls for making my evening.
It always makes my evenings. I was absolutely drained before this, and now I feel rejuvenated. I love it. Nat, thank you again for coming on, and obviously commiserations for the ladies' game today. But hopefully they bounce back as well, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I always enjoy it. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure, mate. And then of course the lovely Nicole, great speech on mental health. Make sure you go and follow her if you want inspirational posts. Nicole is your girl, definitely. Nick,
and
thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Well, he's just saying we invigorated each other. We was like the Pogba'S to United, but to each other tonight. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's all we really need. So, yeah, there's my Twitter, wherever it is there. United, she stands on Instagram. Emma, if Emma Radgar's in the chat, can you get following her page, Elite Shirts Co. Yeah. And I'm sending Emma a big hug. She's still one of us, and I love her to bits, and she knows why I'm saying that. Love you, love you, love you. And one more thought to anyone that needs to hear this right now, and then I promise I'll go back to being a complete weirdo like I usually am. Because I read this and I think this is really important to anyone right now who feels like you don't want to be here. Even there might be a time where you don't want to be here anymore. But I promise you, there will be at least one person in this world who is so happy that you are, and that is enough to get to tomorrow. So keep going. We're nearly there. Let's all meet up and have a gin soon. And thanks,
Cannot wait for that. I'm going to end on that note. So much positivity, and I love it. Guys, take care. We'll be back at the weekend, hopefully celebrating a win against Leicester. But until then, stay positive, keep smiling, and like Nick said, if any of you are struggling, we are all here, we're all here to support. Drop us a message and we will definitely get back and support you guys. Keep smiling, guys, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.